Are there any other tools or platforms that you think someone should consider if they're looking to get a stronger routine down for their morning?
So, Freedom is a great tool, and there's other apps like that. What that does is it allows you to have a phone and block those things like a Facebook or whatever that you do not want the interruption for. So, my Freedom actually on Facebook is set that I don't look at Facebook until after 5 p.m. So that's a
Perfect.
little extreme, but other items are blocked until noon, and it
That's
just
great.
allows me to control that. So that's one. The other point I would want to make is, I'm not super rigid in terms of those releases and the mindset. And what I find myself is in counterbalance. If I've been going really, really hard, then it's more time for me to spend a little bit more time in the gym, maybe on my bike before I go to work and have a release that way. Whereas if I'm, been much more on the athletic side, then I'm going to counterbalance and that's when I'm going to write. But in different phases of where I am pushing on, one works better for me than others. Great books out there like the Miracle Morning or whatever. I've used that and used it religiously for over a year, and it's worked. It gives me those, kind of that balance or that kind of mindset to start there. But I've manipulated that into my own, and I use that
Me
counterbalance
too.
based upon where I am. But I would say
Right.
that's a great start for somebody who doesn't already have one. I'd say adopt that for a full year. And then once you know that you've got that discipline of using it for a full year, let it flow into what exactly works for you and gives you the most energy in the period of time that you're in.
That's a great idea. I mean, it's gonna give you that strong foundation, you're gonna build the muscle, and then you can start tailoring the workout to suit you.
Yeah. And
Yeah?
whether it was my corporate or my agency business, and I've had, 30 years combined in those, I'm always in some season of counterbalance. So make sure that you adopt your morning routine and those things that you're working in yourself to work into that counterbalance.
You bring up a good point, and I'm curious, how does this show up in your personal life? So, how does your morning routine you've already shared some of the things you do with friends, but how does this strong morning routine and dedication to achieving the hardest things of the day in the morning, what kind of impact does that have on your inner circle or your family?
So in terms of the family, we're starting to be empty nesters. So getting things done early, one of the greatest rewards of my life now is being able to control my time so that Carrie, she'll have her tea and I'll have my coffee and just be able to do that after I've already had some wins for the day.
Mhm.
And then it just allows me to go off to work and just in a beautiful state and allows me to make sure that I'm ending my day, even more importantly, 9 times out of 10 by 6 p.m. So that everything's shut off. Um, and yeah,
So then you have great time in the evening.
great time in the evening. And, one of the things I learned very early from a mentor, Paul Butterfield, if you're watching, was there is no real estate emergency.
Correct.
And when he was mentoring me, he wouldn't take my calls after 6 because he doesn't take client calls after 6. And, maybe that's extreme or not, but set a boundary, whether it's 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or something. But especially to my agent friends, set that boundary. Your family is they're going to be the only ones that are there on your deathbed. I don't care how big the
That's right.
commission is. It's not worth it.
Agreed. It's absolutely right. And I learned
Mhm.
that as well. One of my early coaches, they said to me, in real estate, we don't have kidneys in a cooler that has to get on a helicopter or little Johnny's not going to make it. That's not what we're dealing with in real estate. And so you can and frankly, they also brought up that sometimes when an agent or any salesperson responds too quickly, they don't have the information and they can actually disrupt things more than taking that moment to reflect, digest, strategize, and then answer in a way that, makes sense for the situation. So, yeah, I hope that our colleagues really listen to that. And you are right. Your family is who's going to be there for you. And they should not be paying that penalty for decades, of not having your full presence with them.